Last video I shot, it was cloudy and gloomy, and now today it's clear skies. It's beautiful. Another beautiful day. Life has been quite busy lately for my wife and I. It's tax season, and we're both marketing for photo and video because we're both in the wedding industry. We're getting ready for the wedding season coming up. But every time I get to sit here in this little corner, surrounded by books and the sun shining through, it's just a nice time to relax and slow down. And I get to sip on some coffee and talk about books with you. Today I want to talk about slow-paced books and stories that are more slow than not. It's common for books and stories and movies to have an inciting incident, which signals to the reader, the viewer, that, hey, this is what this movie or this story is about. It could be a quest for a magical sword, or the prince saving the princess from the evil dragon. Maybe it's a Sherlock Holmes murder mystery. We have to find out who's behind it all. For me, I don't need the inciting incident to be so obvious or upfront and direct. I like it when a book takes its time, or a story that takes its time to reveal that inciting incident. Everyone has different tastes in books and movies and stories and how they like that story to progress. And it's funny, I recently just watched an interview with Christopher Rocchio, who is the author of the Sun Eater series, which is what I'm reading right now. And he said, pacing is very subjective. It is a measure of individual engagement. It's purely in the head of the reader. Some people like long, drawn-out stories. Others like quick, short, and to the point. And today I want to shed light on slow books and slow stories, and why I feel we should embrace and appreciate the slow moments of a book. For me personally, I never quite understood the criticism about a book moving too slowly. When someone says something is slow, I never really take it at face value. The beginning of the book was pretty boring, but it picks up speed, and then it gets really good. Then you get to the great part, Or when you're talking about a series of books, and it's like, it'll get good after the first 4 books. For me, I've always had the attitude of, it's the journey, not the destination. And I truly believe that is an attitude we should all have as readers. Not rushing to the end and finish a book for the sake of finishing it, but to truly be in the moment with that book, to be in the moment with those characters. I think this attitude teaches us to be patient and slow down as readers, to trust and appreciate the author with the world that they're building and the story that they're presenting to the reader. Appreciating the slow stories and the slow books, I believe, builds discipline as a reader, because you're not rushing and flipping through pages to get to the good part. Because what if the slow part was the good part? I don't know. It is different for every reader. I love when an author takes their time, revealing the information and presenting the book one layer at a time. The world, the characters, the cultures, the politics, the language. You really get to settle in and maybe find a space for you in that world. I know that sounds kind of weird, but you get immersed. When a book moves slowly, things feel earned, and things aren't rushed for the sake of wrapping things up because of a 3-act structure. All the heartache and adversity and chaos and problems a character goes through to get to a single point in their life If you brush past that, things won't feel earned. Say an author presents a problem, and then the solution is in the next sentence, or the next paragraph, or even the next page. That's going to feel hollow, and I won't care for the character. I won't be invested. And then I'll ask, what was the point of the problem if it's just going to get solved in the next page? So being able to sit with a character and sit in their shoes at their lowest point for pages and pages and chapters, sure, it may be boring, but there's a reason for it. And that's how I felt with Wheel of Time. 14 books long. So many questions. You're left in the dark for 4.4 million words, and ever so slowly, the curtain is peeled back, and the onion is peeled, and things are revealed to you bit by bit, and it's an experience that I will always cherish, and it's shaped my taste in books and what I look for in stories. And for me, not everything needs to be nonstop action, and not every chapter needs to be ended on a cliffhanger. I don't mind being left in the dark. I don't mind just sitting, being a fly on the wall, listening to two characters talk back and forth. If the dialogue is written well and the characters are multidimensional, I can sit there for days. I want to give two quick examples about two of my favorite movies and shows. Sicario, one of my favorite movies of all time. It's less about the action and more about the anticipation of action, the anticipation of violence. You're left in the dark for so long. There's so many questions that the main character, Kate, is asking herself and wanting to find out more and more about. It's that ambiguous tone that really draws me to that film and that type of storytelling. And the anticipation, waiting for violence, just is drawn out as long as it can be. And then, boom, when it happens, it's impactful. Because if action is just non-stop, it's not going to feel impactful. It's going to feel, you're going to get desensitized to it. My next example is Better Call Saul, which is a TV show. It's a prequel TV show to Breaking Bad, both of which I think are masterclasses in storytelling and character work and dialogue. But what draws me to Better Call Saul, more so than Breaking Bad, is how ordinary it is, how mundane it is, and how almost like a slice of life. The show is about lawyers, and to most people that could be pretty boring, but when you're sitting in the slow moments and in the mundane, when action happens, it's impactful. And it hits you like a truck. Those are just some of my examples of slow-paced storytelling that I genuinely love. The point of this video is to shed light on the slow, the mundane, the ordinary in a story. I just think we should appreciate that and embrace it more, rather than speed over it. What if it was about the journey and not the destination? What if it was the journey all along? Because when you close that book and it's over, you may be thinking back, man, I wish I could go back to those little moments that character went through. So that being said, what are your thoughts on the slow moments in a story and how a story is paced? Do you like fast stories and shortened to the point, or do you like long, drawn-out stories? And if you do, let me know what some of your favorite slow books are, because I'm all for that. I hope in this very fast world, this very fast go, go, go society, that you are able to step back and slow down. And whatever book you're reading, I hope you're able to just trust the author and enjoy those slow and mundane moments in the story.